carpet.
Yeah, that was weird.
And you guys got caught in the corner, right? In that case, I would almost have said, because you weren't really racing, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because they were going to dive bomb those corners and cause mayhem. But in this case, yeah, you've got plenty of open road.
Yeah, you know, if someone's passing you in that situation, they'll expect you to be on the right. So
Yeah.
just stay to the right and be quick. Let's go.
So,
Let's go.
Don't always do what experienced racers do. So like when he said about mixing groups, you might see some other experienced person mixing in other groups. Just because they're doing it, don't.
I'm Tom, this is John and John. So,
Yeah, just ask me questions or ask anybody questions if you have questions.
as we said before, John's had, kidney problems in Costa
I'm
Rica
not.
racing.
I'll be the caboose today. I'm going to be the absolute last one on the road today. So if you're
challenge you.
get drive.
I get confused in the group chat. John's last names. What
John, I'm John Roden.
You're John
Roden.
Roden.
Yep.
John Suda.
Okay.
Tom Roden. Great.
Or you can call me Jonathan.
Yes.
That's what's on my
Jonathan
phone.
John.
Is it Jonathan?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Lay on, McDuff.
Peace out, Mike.
Yeah, right turn here.
Point of riding. I do want one. I know, I'm just kidding. I need to learn how to ride without one because I'm not going to have one on my other bike. So. I usually end up with running on heart rate. Yeah. Actually, I just came back, so. Probably the biggest riders here. I like hanging around behind the hill. Yeah, no, I love being behind the guy. I got stuck behind Connor in that Grand Island race. Right. It was not very helpful. That was like me right behind So just playing around a little bit.
I'm just wondering for her.
I know, I don't want to gap too much because I know we got to regroup, so I don't want to kill myself on the first lap.
Kill myself chasing the hill. That's what I'm here for.
So
Get my cardio up.
obviously I did get a gap. Like, how hard should I be pushing after that?
It depends. Depends what you're. Uphill, you naturally would have got slower.
Yeah.
And the group, if someone's waiting in the draft, they're going to come here and they can attack. Or they wait for the steeper climb. So knowing the course is key to knowing what you're going to attack and not to attack.
Right. So that wasn't a good one? Or like you should really more attack on the hills? Or
That should be a soft attack.
after?
Soft attack.
So don't put in too much, kind of test out the field.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because they might just let you dangle.
Yeah. Tire myself out.
And if you go hard, they might also let you dangle while you're going hard. You might not realize that. So you do different attacks for different reasons. Maybe you do attack because you're trying to draw another person out of the group. Maybe you do attack to break up the group. Maybe you do attack because everyone's sitting around. You just want to get more lively. You just have to know attack is one of the tools, and then you can use it a ton of different ways.
Sure.
So like when I came up and got to you, sometimes what I'm trying to do is I can go.
Yeah. Just pass me right off.
Keep going. Yeah. Or I might come get in front of you, set it in front, and start pulling. I might get on the back of you and just sit there.
Right.
So whenever you pick one of those tools, someone could pick a counter tool. And you're always just trying to figure out what's in other people's heads. What's their game.
Right.
They feel like shit.
Reading the body language here.
This is a really hard place to get away. Just the rolling hills. And then it's a downhill over here.
So I'm not great on hills, but if I was,
So
then attacking before a hill wouldn't be too bad, right?
don't attack before a hill sometimes. Right now, we're catching. They should slow. Keep our speed up and not be able to full stop. If we time it, we'll come back.
Yeah.
Where they're slowing down, also keeping that momentum. Once I saw we weren't passing them, I pulled up.
Gotcha.
I don't want this thing to have a bunch of energy. Because he was pulling in front. I don't know.
Right.
Burn him up. The wind's coming from over there. So, if I was closer to the front and I was watching for attacks, sometimes I'll sit over there on the yellow. Yep. It's a little dangerous on this road. Thanks.
It's good.
That was a crazy effort back there.
Oh, thanks.
Shit. That's downhill. You see the watch from that freaking push there.
I mean, John caught up to
You were
me.
lifting off the ground. That was insane. Alright, so if we were really racing, I didn't want anybody with me. Let's go over here. Why would I go over here? They can't draft you.
guys, hold up. Whew.
That was a good effort there, man. Holy shit.
Thank you.
Cranked it.
I grew up with a lot of hills.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So small too. The hills are, I know, not as easy for everyone else.
So as we were coming down, like I was saying, normally if we were racing and I didn't want to have a effective group working, you'd be on the edge of the road away from the breeze, right? So, like you'd be on the yellow line coming down that way. That denies draft anybody behind you. But because we were more or less, let's say we were in a break together, you know, the person pulling was as far right as practical. And then, did you guys move around behind the person you were behind? In different spots, you're gonna feel a different draft. Do you know what I mean? So like, that's what I was saying when you guys were coming down. If say, you know, I was here, you'd wanna be like here. You know what I mean? Slightly overlapping, but you're catching, because the wind was kind of a 2/3, 3/4, right? It was almost crosswind, but it was kind of a little bit from the south as well. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, being here, you were technically in the wind. Here, you were getting some shelter from here. And then I screwed up because I said to pull up right, but when you're in a situation like that, come up the left side of the rider to pull, you know, make your pulls that way. And then when we hit the hill here, the reason I was saying was get momentum, and why I kept telling you pedal, keep pedaling, keep your momentum going in the downhill. It might be more inefficient from a aerodynamic standpoint, but you're gonna get your legs spinning, because a lot of times what happens is you transition from the downhill into the uphill, and you got no momentum in your legs.
I felt that too because I had a heavy gear.
Right.
Like I just kind of hit the wall with it.
You just hit a wall bit, right? So if you're coming in, it's one of two things. Either shift to a gear that you know that you can get up the whole thing in, right? Most of that's a big ring climb, maybe.
We're gonna roll through.
Okay. Most of that's a big ring climb for the most part, but you know, find the gear that works for you getting up things like that, so that you don't have to stop and shift halfway through. Because a couple of you stop and shift halfway through, your momentum shot, you're done, right? So like that's what happened to you, right?
I pulled the ripcord after we were regrouping.
Ah, there we go. That's an even better answer. So, and again, if you pedal on the downhill coming into the uphill, your legs have momentum. You're going to have a high cadence when you hit the hill, but then you got a lot of gear ratio to back off of, so you can keep your cadence high. You don't bog down, because there's nothing worse than just bogging down and having your legs turn to shit, right? And then you just don't get up. So.
Did you guys see when I attacked? I was spinning really fast. And then when I got up to the top, I wasn't just spinning slowly because I can't shift, but because if I had gears, I would have kept it the same that I did up here, because my heart rate is just pounding out of control, and so I have to keep moving, keep my legs moving to bring it back down. But if I keep moving my feet really fast, I'm not gonna be able to bring my heart rate back down. Right. So you have to think about that then too.
But the other thing in a climb like this is, you know, drive it all the way until you get to the downhill, right? For two reasons. One, you might have a break, you never know, right? And two, you want to keep your, like John was saying, you want to keep your legs going. If you can push it all the way to that downhill, now you've got this downhill section where you can spin the junk out of your legs so they don't feel as heavy and shitty. So that's a technical term.
What I'm talking about right there, what I did, was for this moment in the fitness I am currently right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I was fit,
John would have been
I maybe
gone.
would have kept spinning really quickly.
Yeah.
It depends on what happened 2 miles down the road.
Yep.
Maybe I would have had it in a big gear. I'm constantly changing it up, and I'm constantly using different things for how the race is going. What maybe I did 2-3 miles down the road. Did I attack? Did someone else attack? Did I already TT on the backside?
Right.
There's a track coming.
So there's a lot of different things that go on with the race. The one thing is if you just stay the same always, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
To stay with the race. Because the race is always changing.
What's the word? Stochastic? Is that the word? Stochastic?
I don't know.
Anyway, so now we got this little downhill and then followed by the pop. And a lot of times in this course, what'll happen is somebody will drill it over the top of here and then just keep drilling down this. So you're gassed from being over the top of that thing because you just hit it hard. And then a guy like John gets on the front and goes 1,000,000 miles an hour down there. If you're little,
because I know someone's on the back hurting,
right,
and that's what I use for the excitement to keep pushing on the front.
But so like Carissa, Carol, you guys want to be tight on the downhills, draft wise. Like you know, somebody's going to drill on this thing going downhill, and then you're going to get to that little popper at the bottom where you can accelerate up that little hill. But if you're 10 yards off the back, now you're making up 50 yards on the group to get back to the front. So on a downhill section like this, get behind somebody big and just stay in tight, you know. And same with you, right?
So does anyone know, after we get down to the bottom and after we go up, what is next?
Down.
Oh, right, and it's sort of like false flats.
Right,
sort
the
of
false
rolling.
flat? Is that what you mean? Or
No.
on this road, like before the turn?
No, well, sort of. You guys got it close. Yeah, you turn it right.
And then it's sort
You
of.
slightly go down,
and
and
then
it's
it's
not
like
a
that.
false flat. It is
No,
an actual
after
uphill.
that.
Yeah.
uphill,
And then it's a false flat.
Yeah.
So if you forget about that little punchy uphill,
You're done.
Yeah.
you could fall off the back.
Yep.
Okay.
So after this downhill, after you go up a little hill, before you make that turn, there's another little hill. And so if you're already gassed, you're really going to fall off. And then once you get to the false flat, now you're TTing by yourself off the back.
With a crosswind. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very, very, it's easy to mess with your mind.
Yeah. This is a deceivingly difficult course because of it. It doesn't seem like there's a big hill in it, but there's enough to make it tough. But at the same token, it's a fun one because it's different. So let's go. All right. Any questions? Good. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll keep talking.
I could regale you with stories about winning this race with a broken derailleur cable.
Well, it's just, there's so much to cover.
Well, right, and actually one time, Johnny and I were racing, he attacked on the downhill on the last lap, coming off the start finish, gapped me at the top. You guys had like 20 seconds on me coming around that corner. I put everything I had to get back on you guys. Like you and Chuck and somebody else. And if you would have brought it up by like a quarter of a mile an hour, I would have been spectacular.
Reflexes. That's a close one.
that's real race scenarios.
But you should kind of, that's to be expected, right? If somebody's about to stand up, the bike can go a little crazy, so.
Oh, I don't think we talked about that yet. Let's talk about that part.
Are we gonna keep going or should we regroup?
I was just mess with our hearts like this stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. This came back when I was racing.
Yeah, see, I like older bikes like the way they look. But all the ones that I like are kind of just so fun to go by. Just things older than my son and college. Yeah, they still seem to work. They can hold up though, you know? Into the wheels. Alright.
Side are we supposed to be on for the win? Probably where you are.
Yeah, sometimes people get crazy when they stand up. So if you're in a group right now, see how it's all of a sudden?
Right.
You know how the back group starts coming up?
Uh-huh.
Well, right now, if I was to stand up, some people, when they stand up, their bike goes back a few inches. And then they hit the people, or the person behind them, runs into them, and then a crash happens. So crashes can happen everywhere. And it's that example right there you're saying how people stand up and can get crazy.
Yeah, let's make a little more draft here. So come more to the middle. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, draft is here.
So when you stand up, good bike handlers won't go backwards.
Yeah. And the trick to that, what is just nice and easy?
Oh, hang on, I should say,
Rather than just like jamming on the.
let me phrase that. When you stand up, you're not going backwards.
Get over here.
You just
Space, there you go.
you just automatically
There
slow
on
down.
drive.
Yeah.
Because you automatically slow down, it's like you put your brakes on, and that's when the people behind you hit you.
Okay.
Oh, that's just practicing. It's practicing standing up to get to the hill. And that's where, earlier, I was talking about the race situations. If you want to practice the race situations by yourself, you're always going to try different things.
Right.
When people ride by themselves, don't You've probably heard people say you can ride. You get faster by riding with faster people.
Sure.
Well, that's because they take you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, they're pushing you.
But if you take yourself out of the comfort zone while you're training, you're going to get the same effects.
Sure.
It's just much harder to do. That's why when I'm training, I'll train a big gear. I'll train a little gear. I just hate doing the same thing over and over again. That's mainly why I do a bunch of different things.
I'm really sure, like you said, you're just having fun with it, and it's gonna be more fun if you're not doing the same thing.
It's just like business. If you're not afraid to fail, you're gonna keep trying stuff. Eventually something's gonna stick.
Right.
And then you just, you did that at one race, you try it at another race. Maybe there's different people at the race. It doesn't work. Conditions are different. You're not as fresh. An attack that you do at the beginning of the race can stick for the whole race.
Yeah.
Because you can get people who look at it and say, yeah, who cares? He's not going to go to Seoul 50 miles. And then before they know it, they forget about the person up the road.
Right.
And the whole thing is if you're attacking, try to pay attention to if the course is designed when you attack, you can get out of sight and out of mind.
Okay.
Because you're always that little rabbit in front.
Yeah, so if you got a couple of rollers, you might be over the hill on another one.
Yeah. I know for myself, when I see a rabbit, I am pushing my hardest to catch it. But when I think all the rabbits are in the group, I'm just sort of hanging out.
Sure. Meanwhile, I'm just pulling all these people. Alright, I can use the fitness.
That is why I'm here on the single speed.
C group, I'm not worried about winning, but getting a hell of a workout.
Yeah. Spitting up like I'm doing this.
Yeah, dude,
crazy.
I don't know how you do it on single speed. Like, your legs are moving crazy fast. When you're catching Devin on the downhill,
Because I practice.
it's insane.
When I first got a cadence meter, and I don't use one now, but I first got one in like 2014 or 2013.
Johnny, let's hold up with that pickup at the top of this rise.
Yeah.
So I do a practice sprint finish, okay?
Okay. That was the first time I had cadence, so then I figured, okay, for this 18-mile ride, I'm going to try and average 110 RPM.
Your average?
So I tried to.
Okay.
As a training ride.
Still.
And I wasn't pushing hard power at all.
Yeah.
It was
It was just all about leg speed.
as light as I could do
Okay.
it. And the next day, my legs felt like I did over a 100-mile ride.
That's cool.
And after I did that, that's when I was like, oh, I should practice these some more.
Yeah.
If in an hour, I can make my legs feel like I did a 100-mile ride.
That's sick.
So I started practicing that. And then for single speed races, I do it. So I do single speed cross.
Okay.
And I'll do single speed for gravel. I think our right here we got it. And so that makes me have to spin really fast, especially in the gravel.
Can you imagine? That's insane.
Everyone see what the draft was like that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I didn't.
John, I don't know if you saw, but I had them practice coming up and cutting in to get out of the gutter. All right. So, like I was saying, if you get your handlebars in front of the person next to you, you got the muscle. You can, force them off a wheel. It's kind of a dick move, but sometimes you have to do it. However, the one rule you got to remember is protect your own front wheel. Okay. If somebody can hit your back wheel, you're gonna be fine. If your front wheel gets shot, you're probably going down. So, don't do anything stupid. So now in this case, we've always said don't overlap wheels, right? Here I'm giving you conflicting advice saying, hey, overlap a little bit. And again, the reason why is because of wind direction, right? So when you got a crosswind, you want to do what's called an echelon. So your homework for the week is look up Northern Classics Belgian races echelon. And you'll see 100 guys in a bike race in groups of 8. staggered across the road. All right, so when you got a wicked crosswind, it's the only way to do it. So, did everyone practice drinking a little bit while they were riding in the group?
Yeah.
Cool, because you just want to get good at grab your bottle while your eyes are on the road, put it back in, don't have to look at your cage.
I have about 400 calories in this bottle right here.
There you go. I forgot my coconut water too. So John, we were practicing.
I already drank one 400 calorie bottle.
Take a wheel if you're laying in the gutter. Good. So they were coming up the left side, you know, giving a point.
Okay.
But then looking for a hole to fit into, you know, third or fourth wheel back. So we did a little bit of that stuff. We talked a little bit about, even though we say don't overlap the wheels, here we got overlap wheels.
Why don't we do a sprint for the finish?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then we'll just
regroup at that corner.
We'll take a second to regroup.
Yep.
Remember your landmarks. Junkyard on the right. That's going to be about
Salvage
I
yard.
don't know, 500 meters out.
Yeah,
Yellow
upside
sign
right.
on your right. The sprint is going to break on the white line side of the road because of where the wind's coming from, but it's not super strong. But if you're leading and you're on the right, protect the right hand side.
Yep.
Make the person come around your left so they're passing you and giving you shelter. But just, you know, look at that sign. That's where you want to go. Remember the rule: you may not impede the forward progress of another rider by moving out of your line when you're past the 200 meters to go sign. Otherwise, that's a chop and you'll get disqualified for that. So you have to head straight. Otherwise, it'd be a really stupid sport because everybody would just like have their teammate cut somebody off and go around. You can't cut people off, yeah. Like in a cross-country running race, maybe you could, but not in a bike race because it'd be just dangerous.
So that's why they say maintain.
Forward
And then what exactly is the finish line?
There's a yellow sign.
Yellow sign right
50 yards from the corner.
there. Yeah. It's not far at all.
So the other thing too is you're going to have to get to know what your sprint is. Are you good for 100 meters? You know, are you good for 300 meters? How long can you maintain it? And then also it's going to depend. This is uphill, so that changes the dynamic a little bit. You know what I mean? So, you know, in the case of like a smaller person, you're better off to sit in as long as you can and then punch at that last 100 meters on an uphill to come around somewhere.
What I thought last time is like I kind of have an idea of what my sprint is.
Yep. And then you got to follow wheels and do what you can, right? So, you know, for me, sometimes I go long and it works because no one expects it. And if you can get a gap on somebody, hold it. So, practice, do what you want.
Question. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'll shut up. Are we sitting or are we standing for the sprint? Standing. Everybody agree? We all agree. We're all going to stand up for the sprint, right?
Do I have
Good
to?
grip here, or whatever you feel comfortable with. Get a good grip. Use your muscles. Use your big glute muscles, and stand up and sprint. Don't sit.
And don't start in too big of a gear.
But I like sitting.
You can sprint. You can do whatever you want, John.
Can I time the bike with somebody else?
See, they're always harassing.
Lot of peer pressure.
Roll into it slow and then
I
pick up
know.
the pace.
So where's the
There's a plus up there. So stop at the corner, and if anybody needs to take a bathroom break, ride back down to the what do you call it?
The bushes?
Yeah. No, you can go down to use the porta potty at the
Oh, I
parking
know.
lot.
There's one
We're just
there.
gonna
Yeah, you
roll
didn't know that?
and then it's
No.
the yellow
Oh.
line
Well, I'm
with,
fine just walking around going.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, every
Every
race we have one at the parking lot.
Try to.
That's nice.
If we're allowed.
Most of the time.
Most, and mainly because we've been trying to encourage
That's what we're
women
going
to
to sprint.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's,
Yeah.
Do you guys rent them, or it just
So, yeah,
happens
so
to be
if
there?
you're
Wow,
allowed-
that's
Yeah, they
pretty
rent
cool.
them. And they're fresh. They're fresh for the day.
Sounds good.
We wouldn't be sprinting right
Somebody
now.
just say
It'd
go
be the
when
first
it's
Right. Although we used to do sprints in race for points.
Yeah, it's always wonderful to go there.
But maybe we
Fresh
will.
toilet
All right.
paper, it's clean.
Let's go.
Does the winner get a candy bar? Because I want a candy bar.
The winner gets a warm Big Newton for my pocket.
I'll take it.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, you got a squirt from a water bottle. All right, remember,
Nice one, Connor.
I was in my smaller ring. I was standing, I'm like,
Oh, shit.
I'm going too slow to keep standing. I didn't realize it was in my smaller ring.
But I am very confident you would have beaten me.
No, hey, you got me in Grand Island.
Yeah, but that was just because you went way early.
Yeah.
This one you had timing way better. I just barely got you.
Who took it, boys?
Just barely. Connor was in the wrong gear.
I didn't realize I was in my small ring. Jeez.
I got lucky.
No, the small ring's been working today too. No, I like the big ring. I know, but it's like then I'm looking down and I'm all the way at the top of it, like cross-chained to shit, and I'm like, well, what the hell? It's right in that sweet spot. Hey, what was the intersection sign? You gonna say something about it?
Did you stop too soon?
No, well, I turned around. I thought you guys were right behind me.
Oh.
That's why I was like really working.
I saw you on the shoulder. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
I knew I couldn't go as early as you, so I was waiting for somebody else to pass me to draft off.
So when you do,
Well, that's the only reason why I went.
I knew you were baiting.
No, I was hoping someone would go behind me
you're doing everything
and
right.
set it up to.
I had to push you and
So
Tom
when
got a
you're
gap,
done with the race,
and I had to catch back
when you're
up
done
to even
with the
draft off
race,
you guys.
take time to reflect on what you did and what worked well. Don't just say, oh, I suck, I'm never going to win a bike race. Yep. Think about, well, you know, I went too early, I went on this side, I didn't have the gearing right, my warm-up wasn't good or whatever. Try to piece those things together and put it in a box and set it aside. And don't say, I suck, I'm just going to go, you know, like change my training all around this week or something crazy. Just, you know, be patient and let the process unfold. What do you call them, John? And so, brick in the wall. Like when you, brick in the wall. So then, what did you learn on the sprint? I saw some terrible sprints out there, but what did you guys learn thinking about your own sprint?
Guy in the POC. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Max.
That's Max. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I didn't recognize you. You know, with
No,
your
it's okay.
stuff on today.
You had a good look at sprint. So what'd you do?
I was waiting. I knew I wasn't going to catch John, so I waited till somebody passed me.
Right.
Connor tried to get on his wheel for a second.
Smart.
Yeah.
And then switched into a higher gear and just tried to go around.
Higher meaning higher cadence or higher?
Lower cadence, so. Yeah.
Were you out of the saddle when you hit the finish?
I was, yeah.
Good, good. Okay.
So how was that hill for you coming into it?
It was rough. Honestly, I was probably in too low of a gear.
Yeah.
I wasn't spinning as fast as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Probably because of the hill, and I was thinking more flats.
Okay, cool.
I was curious. How did I get away?
Because I let you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
you and Tom.
Okay.
I let a gap open by accident.
And I'm bad out of shape, John. I can't.
Well, I thought you were there. That's why
I was there, and then I slowed down for a minute, and then you left, and I'm like, and I didn't know, and honestly, I didn't know where they were, and I didn't want to open up a gap to everyone here.
So we had the practice run. We've seen all the hills.
Yep.
We've seen the course. We've seen the finish. We know how the pieces fit together. If you get dropped, you're gonna have to listen to me telling you interminable, boring stories. So use that as a motivation to not get dropped.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I burned a bunch of matches, so for the true race, I'm done.
off the road there.
Yeah, it's probably the A group coming.
So we get on the shoulder.
So
let's get up here 50 yards around the
Let
corner.
the A's go by.
Yep.
And then
So with Tom falling off my wheel, that will happen during the race.
Yep.
So be careful, because then I may have won when others could easily hang around. Right? If they just were positioned right behind me at that time.
you're getting more comfortable with traffic now. You're getting more comfortable with traffic.
Just pretty much say you're going to go and do it, and you just do it like 100 times, and then it's like, okay.
It's kind of like me and food.
I was standing and I was going great, and then
I think it's like all they couldn't is they
January, I
still wasn't
did
fast enough for some reason, so I sat back down.
Nice.
I was on my little ring.
Probably.
I would have beat Zach maybe just by a hair, but I would have gotten
Realistically, Connor, for that entire stretch, you should have been in your big ring. But obviously, since you stopped,
Especially
it's probably downshift.
You can probably big ring this whole course.
Yeah,
Let's go.
it's close. You
I
know?
tried to ride
Depends on your leg
last
strength.
week and this week.
Hey Connor, I was in my little ring too.
Yeah, I know, I saw
I
that.
didn't realize it.
So you actually
I really did win. Okay. But that's both really bad that we both did that.
The other guys. Where's James and them?
So we're probably between groups then.
Are those the test guys?
Yeah.
Those are.
There's an example of.
Let me go take a little peek.
They're on his wheel, so James is probably watching. Yeah, still TT to them. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Have you been training much?
I know if I had a
What's
road
that?
bike
Have you been training much? Practicing?
Miguel, how you doing?
Not really. I mean, I don't have enough time to ride
bail?
too much during the
Yeah.
week.
Alright, cool.
But I
Yeah.
try to do.
So, real quick, one other teachable thing. Miguel's having a bad day. It's not because he trained too much this week, because he had a busy work week.
Yeah.
So cut yourself some slack if you feel like shit. You're like, I didn't ride at all. Well, you know what? Maybe you put in 70 hours at your job, or your baby kept you up all night, or you went out boozing. I don't know.
If you don't get a lot of sleep, your heart rate won't get sky high the next day.
I think I'm strong.
Good job, Miguel.
Yeah,
We're all there.
Good ride. We'll see ya.
I skipped last week's race because I didn't have any time to train, and I'm like, I shouldn't have skipped it, but I did.
Use it as your training.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
And that's the thing with C. It's like
Got it! About a minute!
Keep it going.
About a minute! About a minute! There he is! Come on, Brian!
Look at the spinning.
how fast you can go.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, guys.
That's uphill. After that entire ass uphill.
So, yeah,
At least get one
See you, Miguel.
ride in for-
keep up.
Take it easy.
That first hill that I powered up, I think I took myself.
Up on your left, yeah? Go, boys.
Stay to the right, guys. That's true.
We're back. Yeah. The group was last. On your left. Yep. Coming on your left.
Stay there, guys.
Yeah, I think Andy's in the B's maybe. I think that was the breakaway in the B group.
Took myself.
Last week Marilla was not the speed, but they had a mix. And then it was like, on your left. On your left.
Now, for running wise, there's categories 1, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, good.
What was the distinction between the two?
Okay, for the club, it's sort of an arbitrary distinction. Like you could be, if you felt confident, you could say, I'm going to play safe. Don't be good. But if you're say cycling, training the 5 at the entry level,